Good evening, viewer. Welcome to our Glory Globe TV. Yes, every year since 1998, May 11, that is, and that will be tomorrow, is observed as National Technology Day in India. The day is observed to celebrate and remember the historic nuclear test by India in Pokhran. A dream that was formulated into a concrete program by Homi Jahangir Bhabha in the 1950s was entirely fulfilled in 1988 by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam and his team. The then Prime Minister of India, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, called a press conference on May 11, 1998 and stunned the world with this announcement. I have a brief announcement to make today. At 3:45 hours, India conducted 3 underground nuclear tests in the Pokhran range. These tests conducted today were with a fission device, a low yield device, and a thermonuclear device. The measured yields are in line with expected values. Measurements have also confirmed that there was no release of radioactivity into the atmosphere. These contained explosions like in the experiment conducted in May 1974. I warmly congratulate the scientists and engineers who have carried out the successful test. Thank you very much indeed. 3 nuclear devices were detonated simultaneously. 2 additional tests took place on May 13 as well as that proved to be fundamentally consequential for India's regional as well as global relations, specifically with the United States. Here is a look back to that day and everything that led to. India conducted its lone nuclear test in 1974 during the Indira Gandhi era, but after that single test, India took the path of what is dubbed as non-weaponized deterrence. But in the 1990s, pressure on India to test came from 3 specific dimensions. The first dimension of pressure was from India's neighboring rival state, Pakistan, and its already processed intelligence of ready-made nuclear weapons. There were many reports at that time that showed China transferring these ready-made nuclear weapons to Pakistan to keep India in check. In addition to this was US President George Bush's refusal in 1990 to certify that Islamabad was trying to acquire nuclear weapons. The second pressure dimension was from the US itself. Washington's push to close the path of nuclear weapon fabrication by extending the Non-Proliferation Treaty, that is called NPT, indefinitely to other countries made India in reject its nuclear dream. The third pressure point was from specific efforts to freeze, cap and roll back India and Pakistan's nuclear weapons capability. One more aspect was the return of Atal Bihari Vajpayee's government into power in March 1998. The government immediately authorized the nuclear test again. The same was even mentioned in the 1998 election manifesto of Vajpayee's party to exercise the option to induct nuclear weapons besides the missile program. The preparation of India's effort to pursue its nuclear dream goes back to March 20, 1998. The Department of Atomic Energy Chairman R. Chidambaram and the DRDO head APJ Abdul Kalam was called by the newly elected PM of India. PM Vajpayee gave the green signal to conduct the test. On May 1st of the same year, nuclear devices were flown from Bhabha Atomic Research Center, Mumbai to Jaisalmer Airport in Rajasthan. From Jaipur, 4 army trucks transported the device and other equipment to a small city called Pokhran. The 58th Engineer Regiment of the Indian Army was called for the task of maintaining the shafts in which nuclear devices, 6 in total, would be tested. The commander of the 58th Engineers Regiment, Colonel Gopal Kaushik, supervised the preparation and all the officers were ordered to maintain absolute secrecy. The shafts were dug out and all the members involved were asked to perform the assignment discreetly. Even the DRDO head APJ Abdul Kalam and Chidambaram would wear army greens during their visit to Pokhran. The army would return all the equipment used at night to its original place to give an impression to the ever-praying satellites that they were never moved. The people involved in the test also used code names to counter the CIA's spying on communication lines. Some of the codes words used then were White House, whiskey, and even Taj Mahal. As soon as the then PM Atal Bihari Vajpayee announced the successful testing of 3 nuclear tests, the Western world was shocked and surprised. The Clinton administration condemned the test and said it was deeply disappointed and subsequently slapped sanctions against India. US Senator Richard Salvi had then said that the CIA's failure to identify that these tests were going to take place was the biggest failure of our intelligence gathering agency in the past 10 years or more. Despite protest by international as well as national entities, Vajpayee stood firm on his decision to carry out the Pokhran II test. Behind the report, Globe TV, Delhi, India.